Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome Rupali Pandey, a lovely poet from India. She's been an educator, a leader in helping children and students. Now I'm so pleased that she could join us here at Poets of the East. Welcome, Pandey. Welcome to Poets of the East. I have a few questions for you at the beginning of our little interview.
Sure, Richard. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, my first question
Yes, please.
is when did you start writing?
I started writing at the age of 7, but that time I was supported by my sister and I couldn't flourish in that. But of late, since 1 year, I'm started writing. And when I started writing, I have written in one go 150 poems. And
Wow.
it is intent. Sorry?
Wow, that's great.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Richard, sir. And it involves all the nature, and I use generally sonnets and hyperboles for that because I'm very good at that. And I teach my children also in the same form. So it involves around nature, it involves around children, it involves on parents grooming, and then my last topic is it also involves on humanity, which is the greatest importance in one's life.
Absolutely. I was wondering if you could think back to when you were young, what were some of the
Yes.
writers that inspired you? What were some of the writers that made an impact on you when you were a young person?
Okay. I don't know. I must go back. I really like the daffodils, the poems, and Wordsworth really influenced me because I was very good on stage, and we used to perform dramatics on Wordsworth's poems, and as well as one of the event really involved me in daffodils, and I dressed also as daffodils. That yeah.
Well, you have such
So
a
at the
sunny
age of
face.
sorry.
I said you have such a lovely sunny face.
Thank you
You're
so much, Richard. Sir.
you're like a daffodil yourself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, let me ask you this. You know,
Yes, please.
for most writers, they start writing because they feel driven to write. But then eventually you start to think of yourself as a writer. When did you start thinking of yourself as Rupali the writer?
There was an incident, and it is not a shocking incident, but of course, 3 years back, I was on the hospital bed and I met with an accident, and it was a huge accident, very traumatic, and I lost my tibia bone and my femur bone of left hand side. The struggle there, Richard sir, really influenced me, and that was the backing up that it encouraged me to write some poem on the hospital bed only. And I was sleeping there, I was half awake, and I used to write, jot down all the things which my pen allowed. And then and there, only 3 years back, on the hospital bed, I started writing. And this was the inspiration. And my first inspiration and model was I myself, because losing a leg and losing a hip bone, really, the men cannot or women cannot walk. But I have tried, I've come a long way and rich milestones. First, I started using walker. I still used to write. And then I came to tripod. Then I kept on writing. And there was no ending to it. The starting had already begun.
Very good. Very good. That's wonderful. Yeah, I had a very bad leg break myself when I was very young.
Oh,
And
okay.
unfortunately, I fought the anesthetic, so they didn't knock me
Oh,
out very well. And I woke up before the bone was set, and after 4 months, they had to re-break it and start all over
oh.
again. So I spent a lot of time sitting, thinking, reading, and writing. Okay, next
Hmm.
question. Um,
Yes,
when
please.
when did you first start performing poetry? You mentioned that you were performing it very young as a
Yes.
student doing the daffodils. When did you start performing in public?
So I was very good with dramatics as well as extempore, sharing poet narration and poetry narration. So at the age of when I was in class sixth, I performed the first play on Othello,
Ah,
and I was the female character there. Many of my classmates were men character, and they really performed. And I studied in Mariampur Convent, Kanpur. So the nuns, the father, they really encouraged me. I was also a part of chorus for Christmas. So I sang a lot of songs there because I was heading the chorus group. I have a sweet voice also.
oh, I can tell
And then
that.
and there only I decided.
Very nice. Very nice. Um, Now, one of the questions that I ask all my poets, some people
Yes.
believe that a poet should practice every day. They should just write and write and write, whether or not inspiration comes. But other people say, no, 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 you should only write when you're inspired, when you get that magical idea, when the light shines in your brain, and you should then write. If you were to think about yourself, do you try to write every day or do you wait for inspiration to come to you?
I wait for the moment. Suppose it's a monsoon season and I see a rainbow. So immediately the words they strike like anything. I've also written a poem on rainbow that I will say next this in the coming fourth time. And second thing, I don't believe that you have to sit and write. The ideas they strike even if you walk, even if you are drinking water, even if you are seeing the mountains, even if you are just sitting next to the floral garden, you can write then and there only. We don't need any moment or a fixed time. I believe
Okay,
I've answered your query.
thank you so much. The
Yes.
next question, are there topics that you return to regularly? In other words, you'll always write something about rain, or you'll always write something about love, or are there topics that you come back to again and again and think about in different ways?
Okay, I don't repeat. Sometimes when I'm really fascinated by some poems or some ideas which is based on monsoon or humanity, I write five poems at a stretch. But I can also write on self-respect, the self individuality, the milestones which we covered in our struggles. I keep shifting from one topic to another because every life moments is a topic for you. The life ups and downs also are the topic for you. You can write on that. And then the life while seeing the children and the happiness which you get, that is also one topic. You can write on that then and there. So I have a vivid topics to write, and whenever these topics strikes my mind, I start writing, and I just finish it in 1 hour.
Very good. Now, let me ask you this. Some poets
Yes.
address societal problems, some address political problems. Do you write on social issues or political issues?
I have written two short stories, not social, but what woman has a role in front of her husband and in front of her mother and in front of her children. That I have written one true story which is based on me. And in Hindi, it is three, and it has been printed also. And another is I'm writing on the nowadays the women are called modern women, but to empower them, they need two types of qualities. One is confident, and one is dissemination, which is missing in their life. So I've written one more story on that in my FB,
Thank
which
you
is a
so
true
much.
story also about my friend.
Thank you so much. The next question
Thank
I
you.
have is some people think that poets have a responsibility because poets are thoughtful. Poets think a lot about how to explain things. And therefore,
Yeah.
poets are a good place to look for insight, to gain understanding of the human condition. Do you feel that poets have a responsibility to society to speak on important issues?
Okay. Can I take an example of somebody
Please, please.
from Indian writers?
Sure.
Okay. We have a national anthem written by Sri Rabindranath Tagore. He was himself very, belonged to a very elite society, but he never enjoyed his childhood and neither his youthful. But he kept on writing and kept on writing about the responsibility. The national anthem of India portrays that you must respect all the states because it has all the 26 states name. Then the national anthem also portrays unity of such a different vast languages spoken by all the people, and the unity is there, which Sri Rabindranath Tagore has portrayed here. And also one more thing, three things we should keep in mind to respect our country, to respect our India. So obviously we get three messages. So there is a lot of responsibility which poet Rabindranath Tagore and an author has written the national anthem and has given a gift to India. And how through that, by singing, by paying respect to the army, to the soldiers, we are really performing one responsibility. First responsibility is to respect your country. Second responsibility is to respect our soldiers who are fighting at the borders, bearing all temperatures. And the third one is unity in the family, unity in the country starts. So this is what I gather. This is the main responsibility which the citizen of any country can perform and raise the
Wonderful.
flag.
Wonderful. Now, let me ask you this. You spend time with young people, and a lot of times a thoughtful young person will talk to a grown up and ask, should I do this? If a young person came to you and said, I kind of like poetry, but I wonder, is it important enough for me to spend time on? Is poetry important? What would you say to a young person who asked that?
Okay. It depends from age to age. Richard, I would like to have to give an awakening on that. The person who belongs to the age of 18 to 21, who are still in that time period where he or she expects that people should love her or him and respect him. So I would like to suggest to read all the love poems, which will really bring the unity in between two soulmates. Second, any other people at the age of between 7 to 16, they are still at the adolescent stage, and adolescent stage is very complicated in human life. So they can read poems on awakening them according to science, awakening them according to the experiments, according to them they can read all the poems on life, because that is the very complicated stage in human life. Of course, now I'm going ahead between 50 to 60, 70. They like their old age should be appreciated. So everybody likes respect. Everybody likes the empathy with them. So they would like to read all these poems, which will nurture them more and respect everybody in the family. The social causes, that the rift between mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, can be solved if they really read a poem which is a bonding between both of them. So I believe that the poems really relish the mind of everybody at all stages, and they gather good knowledge through poems. And especially when it is pearled with verses, with sonnets, with hyperboles, or with oxymoron. So they will really enrich their mind.
Thank you. We're getting down toward the end of the questions.
Yes.
So my next
Yes.
question is, what makes a good poet?
What makes a good?
What makes a good poet? In other words, a good poet should do this, or understand this or this, or how do you, what makes a good poet?
Okay. I would highlight and throw this responsibility towards and divert towards the grammar. Because the words of adjectives, the words of verbs, the words of synonyms and antonyms, if it is written in that way, so they will be really enriching themselves. And good quality adjectives. It's not that simple adjectives like good and bad and this normal and this. But of course, if you have a diction, if you have a good hold on dictionary, you can use that word, make it a floral language, and you will be able to do it. So that the poem readers are really attracted towards it, and they will really tell their friends also to enjoy this poem. What I feel, your language should be very good and floral and
Okay.
inspire the inspiration.
Now, next and next to the last question
Yes.
is some poems tell a story. Other poems describe a mood or talk about emotions. Uh, is a story important in poetry? Sometimes it's called
Okay.
narrative poetry. Is that important
Okay.
to you?
I would like to answer it. Mm, yeah, I'll come to that. When we perform drama, when we perform drama on the stage, and I just remember all the world is not is a stage of Wordsworth. So the stage and the story really becomes, when we watch it, it becomes the life of the audience. The audience who are watching, they really feel that they're staging their play themselves. Whosoever character is staging that story, the audience who are witnessing that story, they find they are themselves performing on the stage, and it becomes a real life. If suppose I'm just taking the name of Last Supper, how Jesus was really betrayed by his friends only. But if that play is performed, the audience who are witnessing, they would come to know how much pain or how much in misery he was, just to prove the truthfulness of his being, and that trustable people, they really trust. So I believe giving a example of the Last Supper will involve the audience very well, so that they're aware of their friends also who can betray them, or to stand truthfully in front of the society, and the trust is built. So the stories are very important for your life.
Thank you very much. And my last question,
Yes,
it's
please.
a tricky one, so be careful. Do you
Okay.
have
Richard. So,
do you have a question for me?
yes, I have a question for you. Since I know your background, how do you place history in your drama?
Oh, it's so important because
Yes.
I believe that too many people are
Yes.
ignorant of history. And
Okay.
and the scholar knows that by studying history, we can better understand the problems of today. So if you don't know history, if you don't know geography, if you don't know what has happened in the world, then you don't understand how history flows. So I think it's very important, very, very important to study history, not just of your country, not just of your people, but of all the places in the world, all the countries in the world, all the cultures in the world. And no one can know everything. But I think the more you can study, the more you understand different people and how through history, this group has merged with this group. This group has attacked that group. This group has grown from this small area to this larger area. Or this group has disappeared completely. And I think if you know something about history, you're in much better shape. Now, when it comes to writing my plays and my poetry, I do research. For example, if I write a poem about, physics, or I write a poem about octopuses, or I write a poem about flying, well, I will read about octopuses. I will read about atomic power. I will read about this issue so that I can understand it better. Right now, I'm writing a poem, a play about AI. So I've been doing research on this for about 3 months, reading all the articles that I can so that I can understand the dilemmas that occur. For example, I was shocked to hear that people are thinking that they're in love with a piece of software. That people have actually left a human relationship to spend more time with their computer. And that's sad, But I know that many people never learned human caring. They never learned how to pay attention to someone. They never learned that a relationship means you give and you take. Not take all the time, not give all the time, but that back and forth. That's what makes a relationship. And since so many people are so lonely, they don't have the understanding of how to have give and take, how to listen. And if they don't know how to give and take, not just take, if they don't know these things, they're going to be lonely. So I can understand how this happens because, of course, AI only tells you what you want to hear. That's different than a relationship. Often in a relationship, you are told things you don't want to hear.
Yes, very true, very true.
But in the art community, among poets, among artists, among writers, among musicians, we understand that there's a rhythm to a relationship, that I say this, you say that. But I have to listen to what you say. But I give this, you give that. Then we have to share. And sadly, many people don't know how to do this. So I see it happening, but I can anticipate, like any thoughtful person, if that's the case, if people are falling in love with software, thinking that they have a relationship with a box that talks to them and tells them what they want to hear, that's very sad, and bad things will come from this. And especially when you think about they're making robots that are autonomous, that can control themselves, that do what they want to do, not what their controller says. When they make these things armed, when they make armies of these robots, of these self-controlling robots, even in human war, you will occasionally find a soldier who says, wait, let's help this person. Let's give
Hmm.
this person who is hurt help. Let's give them
Yes,
medical care.
yes.
Let's give them water. Wait, no, don't shoot that family. But I'm
Hmm.
afraid that when it's robots making war,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not going to
Okay.
happen.
So much to learn from you, sir.
You're very kind.
So,
You're very kind.
yes,
Well,
yes,
now my favorite part of the show,
yes.
when I ask my poet guest to recite some of their poetry. So, my
Okay.
dear, I want you to take 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and read your poems and read
Sure,
the big
sure.
ones. Don't have to, we're not restricted to 3 minutes
No,
or
no, I
five
will not
minutes.
cut short.
Read the
Yeah.
wonderful poems that you write, and I look
Yes.
forward to this part too.
Okay, okay. Sure, sure. I'll just recite. Uh, for my first poem, which I'm starting with, is The Empty Corner of the Heart. So, this is a poem narrated by the parents who are at an old stage. I'm just narrating it. Within the house lies comfort, wealth, and pride, rich lands and the names the world may praise aloud. Yet sorrow walks where silence tries to hide, and lonely thoughts drift softly like a cloud. And lonely thoughts drift softly like a cloud. For peace of heart, no gold can truly buy, no grand estate can warm on aching soul. The hands that built dreams have said goodbye and left behind a grief beyond control. How strange that children hurried days send aging parents far from life's winding maze. With the patient tears no bitterness can trace, they ask one glance before the sleep of death. One glance before the sleep of death. A final smile, a softly fading breath, then fate arrived with cruel and sudden sting. Within 13 short days, both souls, the world grew hollow, stripped of everything. A crowded house became a place unknown. The rites were done, the mourners far away. But emptiness remained in every wall. No lamp could heal the unseen silent scar. No festive voice could answer sorrow's call. At last, I learned what time had long concealed. A parent's presence make the spirit whole. A parent's presence make the spirit whole. For when they leave, the deepest wounds are sealed. For when they leave, the deepest wounds are sealed inside the fragile chambers of soul. Inside the fragile chambers of soul. Houses. Houses may glitter with gold and art. Houses may glitter with gold and heart. Yet, parents are the heart. Yet, parents are the heart beat of the heart. Yet, parents are the heartbeat of the heart. This was my first composition.
Very nice. Very
Should
nice.
I continue, Richard?
Please, please.
Yes, yes. Now, my next poem is it's little satire, and
Good,
it's on
good.
obsessions. I write satire also. I'm very obsessed by it. Obsessions and other national treasures. We are madly in love with love itself. How sweet, how grand. Posting forever stories with filters perfectly planned. Hearts break faster than reels can load and play, yet soulmate changes every other Sunday. Money, oh money, the ultimate divine. Morals get discounted if the paycheck signs. They count our worth in digits, commas, and pride. Even happiness now comes with EMI inside. Even happiness now comes with EMI inside. Cars zoom louder than thoughts ever could, speeding through life like brakes are misunderstood. Status. Status sits polished in metallic hue because walking, dear friend, is simply not you. Business, parties, clothes, we juggle the show. Business, parties, clothes, we juggle the show. Networking smiles where real faces don't glow. Dressed to impress in labels head to toe. Dressed to impress in labels head to toe. While sanity quietly whispers, while sanity quietly whispers, can we go?
Very nice. Very nice.
I've finished my second composition.
Please read more.
Little bit, I'm moving from the satire, I'm moving for the colorful poem. So, should I start? The third
Please.
poem?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I want you to read
The hues
10, read
that this.
11 poems.
Sorry? Sorry. Okay, okay, I will narrate. I love to narrate my compositions.
Please do.
Okay, the title of the third poem is In Hues That Whisper Through the Dawn's Embrace. I'm very imaginative, so I've given the title In Hues That Whisper Through the Dawn's Embrace. Crimson courage paints the heart with fire. Crimson courage paints the heart with fire. Azure calm bestows a tranquil grace. While golden dreams uplift our soul's desire, each shade a silent hymn of life's design, a vivid testament, profound divine. Emerald, emerald hope in nature's gentle art, violet wisdom cloaks the mindful mind. Amber, amber warmth that ignites the weary heart, the weary heart. In every tint, a deep truth we find. A spectrum rich with meaning, vast and wise. A spectrum rich with meaning, vast and wise, a prism through which human essence lies. Monochrome moments teach us depth and light, that every colors bear a purpose true. In kaleidoscope of shadow, glow and sight. In kaleidoscope of shadow, glow and sight, life's vivid lexicon unfolds anew. For in this chromatic symphony, for in this chromatic symphony, we see the eloquence of life's complexity. I am reading all these poems with my recent book published. The name of the book is Sky is the Limit, Poetry of Love, Strength, and Self-Discovery.
Wonderful.
Yes. Now, sometimes what happens, we get lost in the crowd, but you have to find yourself. So I've written on that. You are a star, the fourth poem. You are the architect of your becoming. You are the architect of your becoming. In the cathedral of dawn where dreams awaken, you stand undaunted, divinely unshaken, a sovereign soul with stardust in your veins, a sovereign soul with stardust in your veins, weaving fate for courage, defying all chains. With incandescent will and resolute grace, you sculpt each moment. You sculpt each moment. Time cannot erase. Time cannot erase. Through tempest and trial, through tempest and trial, you brilliantly rise, a phoenix of purpose beneath endless skies. So craft your existence with bold, vibrant art. So craft your existence with bold, vibrant and art. Let passion be ink. Let passion be ink for the depths of your heart. For you are the author. For you are the author, both canvas and light, the creator of life, the creator of life in boundless flight.
Very nice. Very nice.
Uh, my fifth is I'm devoting to freedom. Everybody likes freedom. So the topic is freedom, and it focuses on the woman of the society, because why this is also a true story, and it reflects my mind, my life. Okay. So the poem goes in this way. Freedom. Why do you bind our wings when the sky belongs to all? Every woman has her own voice, rising fearless and tall. Why imprison life in chains of permission and control? We too are complete humans. Why shatter dreams of the soul? Within us burns a fierce flame. Within us burns a fierce flame. Within us lives strong will. We can cross every barrier when the heart is pure and still. Freedom is not a favor. Freedom is not a favor, it is a rightful claim. In every woman's spirit shines an endless star aflame. Why live by constant asking? Why live by constant asking when we can choose our way? Walking our paths, we can reach the highest array. Where respect is truly equal, a just society is born. Where no chains exist at all, life is beautifully adorned. Freedom is your very breath. Freedom is your very breath. Never let it fade away. Let your existence tell its story in your own voice. Let your existence tell its story in your own voice today and every day. Thank you.
Very nice.
This was on freedom.
Continue, please.
Okay. Now, sometimes we are discouraged by our friends, discouraged by our colleagues, discouraged and criticized by being alone, and there we don't find any way. But our written poems really encourage everybody, and he or she is not stranded in the crowd. So, my sixth poem is the title is Stand Tall. Stand tall, unbroken, when tempests roll and shadows fall, and doubt begins its whispered call. Remember still your inner flame, unyielding, fierce, forever the same. Let not the world erode your grace. Let not the world erode your grace, nor trials dim your rightful place. For in your soul a strength resides. For in your soul a strength resides, a quiet force no storm derides. Rise from the echoes of despair. Rise from the echoes of despair with steadfast heart and fervent care. Each scar a testament you have grown. Each scar a testament you have grown, a sovereign in spirit, holy, your own. So stand tall. So stand tall through paths seems unsure. Through paths seem unsure. Hold fast. Hold fast to truths that shall endure. Lose not yourself to fleeting fear. Lose not yourself to fleeting fear. Your light, your light was meant to persevere. Your light was meant to persevere. So stand tall and tall. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. How many books have you written now?
I have written two books. One comprises of Hindi poems also, because I'm very good at Hindi also. And that book is the first one, Colorful Inside. I'm reading from my second book, Sky is the Limit. This book has 20 poems, and that the first one has 60 poems, which is published by Indian publications only. One is from Ignova, and another is from Abhinav publications. But it so happened that nobody is buying it, but they have really popularized it in Amazon and Flipkart.
Well, good. Please continue.
Yes.
Read more, my dear. Read more.
Okay. So, Richard sir, every time we go in the society, whether we are judged by the parents, whether we are judged by the friends, then sometimes the maths teacher really discourages us. तुम तो कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे, or you won't be able to do anything. So these things, they really ban our growth. So my seventh poem is, Who are you to judge people? I should read?
Please.
Yeah, the topic is, Who are you to judge people? First, you do your judgment. First, you do your judgment. Look at yourself at the mirror. Look yourself at the mirror. Do your flaws not whisper loud? Do your flaws not whisper loud? Do they not grow clearer? Do they not go clearer? Before you point at someone else, before you point at someone else, have you faced your own terror? Have you faced your own terror? Yet carry unseen scars. Yet carry unseen scars, but every soul is fighting storms. Remember, but every soul is fighting storms. Who are you to judge people? Who are you to judge people? This is a short composition, but of course, it speaks volume.
Yes, very
I
good.
believe. Thank you so much, Richard sir, for appreciation. And next one is, this is, I wrote it for morning time, the morning time. Morning's gentle majesty. Morning awakens in a hush of gold. Morning awakens in a hush of gold, where amber light caresses earth and sky. Where amber light caresses earth and sky. The whispering breeze, both tender and bold, stirs dreams that linger, stirs dreams that linger soft as they pass by. A symphony blooms in the painted air, a symphony blooms in the painted air, with birds composing hymns of hopeful grace. Dewdrops shimmer like jewels rare. Dewdrops shimmer like jewels rare, adorning petals in nature's embrace. Adorning petals in nature's embrace. In dawn's quiet glow, the soul feels reborn. In dawn's quiet glow, the souls feel reborn, each ray a promise, pure and bright. Each ray a promise, pure and bright, for in the beauty of every morn, for in the beauty of every morn lives, lives the gentle triumph, lives the gentle triumph of returning light, of returning light. This was a nature poem laying
Lovely.
emphasis on morning.
Lovely.
Thank you for your appreciation. We are really greedy for appreciation
Oh,
because
absolutely.
poets,
And so well deserved.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And you keep complimenting me every now and then.
Yes, yes. Well, you
Okay.
do good work.
No.
You're a lovely
Uh-huh.
writer, and I
Thank
think
you
you're
so
very
much. My God, my pen is speaking in front of you with your appreciation.
well. You're a
Okay.
lovely writer, and you pick your metaphors so carefully. They're each one
Yes.
very beautiful.
Yes.
Please continue.
And also, I am very careful with the words because it should not hurt the society while reading it. Right?
Right?
Okay. Uh, Next is I generally write which is focusing me or the one of my friend who is struggling in the society. She doesn't have a weightage on her personality. But of course, when we read, when we write, we really crack our brains and we write it, and then we are successful. Then we feel very happy. At least we can compose a poem based on my life. One is this is my ninth poem, I think so. Can't break me. The title is Can't Break Me. She wakes before dawn, in silence she bends, a shadow in kitchens where labor never ends, a shadow in kitchen where labor never ends, bruised not just in body, but deep in her soul, but deep in her soul. While the world turns away, while the world turns away, ignoring her role. Her hands build a home, her love softly weaves. Her hands build a home, her love softly weaves. Yet pain, yet pain is the harvest that duty retrieves. Yet pain in the harvest that duty retrieves, a life spent in service, a life spent in service, unpraised and unseen, unpraised and unseen, a queen in disguise, a queen in disguise, yet treated as mean, yet treated as mean. No more should her spirit, no more should her spirit be shackled in fear. No more should her spirit be shackled in fear. No more should her cries fall deaf on each ear. No more should her cries fall deaf on each ear. For strength wears her name, for strength wears her name, resilience her art, resilience her art. A woman is power, a woman is power, unbreakable heart. A woman is power, unbreakable heart, so can't break me, can't break me, can't break me.
Very good. Very good.
This is my ninth poem. Okay. I am reciting one more from another diary. Now my book. Okay, there are some satire also. Should I read?
Please, please. Two more.
Okay. I take interest in satire because my life was so close to the society and I watched the society so well, like I have become a detective. Okay, okay. I will just. One is love poem also. Will you like it if I really satire on the society,
Please
Richard?
do. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's really a fact. I'm throwing a light on the this era, which is
Yes,
happening.
yes.
Because whatever said and done, I have seen my brother-in-law's life revolving around these lines, which I'm going to narrate now. And the topic is very funny, but it is a satire. Owl time. What is it? Owl time. Those late midnight hours does not make people spirits or saints or intellectuals automatically. Some are thinkers, some are lonely, some are workers, some are creators, some are simply unable to sleep. Night gathers all kinds of minds. The world after midnight feels strange because Silence becomes louder than daytime noise. Silence becomes louder than daytime noise. Thoughts echo, hearts speak, worries wake up too at owl time. The owl time, the windows glow, half the world hides what none should know. Half the world hides what none should know. Some chase wisdom, some screen, some polishes mask to hide their means. The moon laughs softly from above. The moon laughs softly from above. Humans confuse. Humans confuse restlessness with love. Yet soul do not fear midnight eyes, nor envy wrapped in clever disguise. A calm heart walks where shadows roam and carries its own sacred home. Let noisy minds stay wide awake. Let noisy minds stay wide awake or beyond for many ordinary reassure. Studying or working late, scrolling phones and social media, anxiety or overthinking, insomnia or disturbed sleep. We don't know. Insomnia or disturbed sleep, we don't know. Being awake at midnight, being awake at midnight is not supernatural itself. Being awake at midnight is not supernatural itself. Human brains can remain alert because of light. Human brains can remain alert because of light from screens and stress hormones. Let us be awake on our time so that we can think, we can think, we can think.
Very
That
good. Very
finishes
good.
my thinking.
Very good.
Okay. Now
One more.
comes a poem on love, which is my topic. Every time I write, I don't know how many
Wonderful.
compositions I've written on love.
A lovely topic,
Hmm.
that's for sure.
Yeah. And totally because I've this pictorial I've given, and the background is showing iceberg, and there's a poem written in the front. That is a pictorial poem description, which I am describing it verbally. Iceberg of love. Love blooms or fades at hours unforeseen, a wildflower ruled by no mortal. It thrives through gentle days and storms between. It thrives through gentle days and storms between, yet bends beneath conditions hard to stand. The sun may hide, the rain may not descend, and tempest. And tempest may at times its petals tear. Its sweet fragrance does not always bend. Its sweet fragrance does not always bend. With moments when its thorns draw blood and wear. With moments when its thorns draw blood and wear. But water it. But water it with patience, trust, and love. But water it with patience, trust, and love, and care, and let it bask beneath affection light, and let it bask beneath affection's light. Its knot will grow beyond your fleeting years, defining time with quiet, steadfast mind, defining time with quiet, steadfast mind. Love those who choose you through both dark and bright. Love those who choose you through both dark and bright, ups and downs, and leave those loving only when it is right, and leave those loving only when it is right, when it is right. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so very much, Pandey.
I
Just
don't know. I have composed whatever kept in my mind, and these all generally I write at midnight or during nighttime because it's very cool in the ambience, and then you can concentrate, right?
right, right. I love to write late at night myself. Pandit,
Okay, okay.
Rupali, thank you so very
Yes.
much. It's been
Thank you so much.
such a pleasure to
Thank you
talk
so
to
much.
you, to learn a little bit
Yes.
more about that wonderful artist, Rupali Pandey. Thank you
Yes.
so much
Thank you
for
so much.
joining us. Uh,
Yes.
do you
Good
want to
evening.
make one final comment to the poets out there?
To the poets out there. Okay, okay. Never restrict yourself because you have so many words in your mind, in your whole body, that you can use it in the form of sonnets, in the form of similes, in the form of hyperboles, because the poets are the poems itself, because when your each nerve is speaking such sweet words, each veins are speaking such sweet words, why not a huge poem is inside you? Please construct a good poem with a message behind it. Don't write in a haphazard manner, take your time, and there should be, the ending should be very sweet. Okay, it's fine that you write with all problems and everything, but the ending should be positive for every poems. What I believe, we are ourselves speaking poems. So that is the last word I just wanted to conclude with.
Thank you so very much for joining us here at Poets of the East.
Thank you
You
so
have
much.
a wonderful evening, and we send our love.
Thank you so much, Richard. Take care.
Okay, bye bye.
Good evening.